Hello, this is Mr. Bacon Bits, and this video is showing how to get all the achievements for the Callisto protocol, including DLC. Let's start right away, we have a lot to cover. You get this for just beating the game at any standard difficulty. Just fully upgrade one weapon to get this one. This one is for beating the game at maximum security difficulty. Not too difficult, especially with the post-launch tweaks they've made. You'll need to find all the implant bios for this one. I have a specific video on how to find them all in the playlist.
Same here.
What is all this?
This is definitely not the UJC.
Then who is it?
Tonight, while the prisoner sleeps, I will take matters into my own hands.
You get this one if you're working towards the previous achievement. You just have to find both of the Callipolis secret rooms. This one's easy, just use grip on 25 enemies. Take down a security robot for this one. There's 2 opportunities to get this, you just need to shoot the head until it's down. Be careful though, as its long-ranged attack can insta-kill you.
Failure terror.
Just take down a 2-head boss. Can't miss this one since you're forced to fight them. This one's a little tricky. There's a combo attack you can do by dragging an enemy to you with grip, letting go, and then immediately swinging the baton. You'll get a unique animation where you knock the enemy back. You'll need to damage the enemy enough first so that this baton swing kills the enemy. Super easy and one you'll get on a normal playthrough, you just have to print your first weapon at a Reforge.
Excellent choice. Okay.
Speaking of, printing your first weapon upgrade will get you this one as well.
In progress. Cycle complete.
You'll need to sneak kill 5 blind enemies from behind. Considering that's the safest and easiest way to take care of them, this one's easy. Oh hey, a photo mode achievement. Just take your first photo with this feature. That's it. This one's a weird one, as the game doesn't tell you that perfect dodge exists as far as I'm aware. To do a perfect dodge, you have to tap the stick at the right timing for a dodge, instead of holding it. If successful, there will be a brief bit of slow-mo and a pretty small window to counterattack during it. So, do this 5 times total to get the achievement. This will not work with auto-dodge enabled, and if you can't get the timing right, you can still do a button mash strategy with the stick. All you need to do with this one is to literally disarm an enemy. Both of them.
What the fuck was that?
Allow 10 enemies to get killed with environmental hazards for this one. It's really easy by just tossing enemies into spikes and fans with the grip. Speaking of... the final few achievements for the base game are story progress related.
You can use this to get inside a control room across that bridge. You can open my cell from there. Name's Elias, by the way.
Jacob.
Don't lose it, Jacob. Might just save your life. Don't leave me hanging. He'll carry you across.
This fucking place. Danny? Danny, where are you? There it is.
It's 2 minutes out.
It's right on time. Power's on. I should get back to that platform. My God. What is that? What's happening? How?
There's a room ahead.
And this one is for getting all the base game trophies on PlayStation. But we're not done yet. This is the first DLC achievement, and this is for finishing a file on New Game Plus. Much better with the recent version of this game with the ability to skip cutscenes. This can be done on any difficulty mode.
Just keep going. Gotta get to the escape pods.
The first of the Hardcore Mode pack, you'll just need to beat the game in Hardcore Mode. This one gives you more limited resources and stronger enemies, and honestly, it's slightly boring because you end up being forced to rely on the baton due to low ammo. So just focus on baton upgrades. This one is for beating New Game Plus on Hardcore Mode. Save yourself some time and aim for this one first, as you can also get the Parole Denied achievement at the same time. This one is for purchasing all weapons and upgrades on any file, on any difficulty. It's much easier to get this on the standard difficulty, so I recommend doing that.
Have a united day.
This is for beating the game on Contagion Mode. This mode is essentially Hardcore Mode with a different alteration for enemy drops, and you cannot manually save, and it only auto-saves at the start of each chapter. So dying is a heavy punishment and only recommended for those who know the game front to back. For upgrade tips, I recommend to not buy any weapons. The hand cannon and the riot gun that you're forced to get work fine enough. Get at least magnum rounds for both of those weapons, and for the stun baton, focus on damage and get the block break so the enemies can't break your swing combo. Finally, focus on energy upgrades and velocity for the grip.
I didn't.
Now for the most daring and possibly hardest achievement, clearing Contagion Mode without dying once. Against regular enemies it's easy enough, just be careful against insta-kill enemies and moments. Two-head is fine, just keep an eye out for regular enemies so that they don't stun you at the worst possible moment. Be careful with security robots, cause their insta-kill is ranged, and memorize where to go on the falling sequence. The only part I'm really nervous about is the water slide, as the fans seem kind of random. I don't know if this actually does anything, but it seemed to be easier if I held back on the stick as I'm approaching a fan, and then push forward when there's a good opening. Maybe that controls the speed? Moving on to the Riot Mode achievements, you get this for reaching Wave 50. It takes a while, but it's a relatively smooth time. Just make sure you don't get surrounded when facing two heads, because even though enemies are greatly nerfed here, two heads can still rack up damage quickly if you let them. This gets easier depending on certain perks, it seems. You also get a cool skin for reaching Wave 50. This one is for spending 20,000 credits total in Riot Mode. You'll get this one eventually, especially if you're aiming for Big Game Hunter. This is for dismembering 100 limbs in Riot Mode. Easy enough considering how powerful your weapons can get. This is for killing a two-head with an environmental hazard. As you can see, I got it from activating one of those crusher walls. Just get through 5 consecutive waves without spending any credits. Easiest done at the beginning. This one is super easy. Just activate the Berserk Mode power-up 10 times total. This is a weird one. All you need to do is complete a run of Riot Mode, which just means dying. Doesn't matter how far you go. Moving on to the Final Transmission Story DLC. This one is for beating it. Pretty easy. This is for finding all the data drives in Final Transmission. There's 8 of them, so I'll go through them quickly. The first one is on a table in Dr. Mahler's lab where she implanted your core.
The data contained herein is my confession of my involvement with what transpired at Black Iron. The history of Callipolis and the madness of Duncan Cole. What happened here can never be allowed to spread. The consequences would be no less than apocalyptic.
In the main cell block that has 2 floors, grab the fuse and use it to enter the optional disciplinary confinement door.
As disposable, a means to an end. I swore I'd never do that. Until I did. The desire to prove him wrong blinded me to the consequences of my own actions. What have I done?
Dropping down to infested levels, you'll eventually find 2 power switches. Activate them, then head back to where you dropped to enter a door. Past there, find a crawl space that will lead you to a Callipolis secret room.
This place feels familiar.
Even after all Cole's promises, after so much time, Callipolis was no closer to understanding the biophage. In my pride, I thought I'd be the one to unlock its secrets. But I failed. In so many ways.
Just after that, you'll squeeze through some walls to find 3 doors ahead of you. Enter the right one, and then cut the wires of the door just past there.
My hypothesis is that the biophage is more than just a pathogen. Rather, a sentient intelligence that has existed for perhaps longer than our universe itself. Quite literally, the ultimate survivor.
After going through sewage water, turn left after climbing the ladder out of it to find this 5th drive. You'll eventually get a fuse to open the way forward in a room full of fans. Get rid of the enemies and solve the hacking puzzle to find this drive in the next room.
To advance the program would require the perfect host. While Cole pursued his alpha, I took a different path. A man-machine hybrid infused with the biophage pathogen. At the time, I told myself I was doing this for the common good. But the truth, I couldn't bear to have Cole beat me to the punch. To take credit for my work.
Keep an eye out after sneaking past biobots after losing your baton. You'll crawl through a vent to come out to a shop terminal and 2 ways to go. Go forward, and then left to a hall with 3 doors. Enter the first door to get a fuse, then use that fuse to open the 3rd door.
You WJC Printing at your service.
That robot, it said something to me.
Focus on your goal, Jacob. Find the data drives. Reach the ship. Keep moving. Keep fighting. What I hoped would be the next phase of human evolution proved a tragic mistake. Yes, the subjects survived the fusion, but trapped inside the machine, absent some kind of understandable mental goal, they grew increasingly vicious and unhinged. After they tore Dr. Mare apart, I shuttered the program.
The final one is found in cold storage, in the last part of this scenario, where you have to get 3 fuses. That should be all of them.
Long enough to complete the transmission. There's not much time. May God have mercy on my soul.
This is a bit of a tough one. You need to solve a security lock puzzle in less than 7 seconds. The easiest one to try this on is naturally the first one, but if you're still having trouble, you can get this without any effort by turning on autocomplete QTEs. Funny how they didn't disable this if you use that method. This is an interesting one. There's a point in this scenario where a series of rooms you go through starts repeating, and it heavily hints that you should turn around in order to proceed. Ignore that and just continue forward. After several loops, you'll eventually find a fuse and won't be able to go forward anymore. So grab it and head back until you find a new door you can open with the fuse. Head inside.
No, that fuse was not there before. That's not real. There's nothing there.
This one's basically story progress. You need to destroy a biobot for this, and you're forced to fight quite a few of them.
Mechanical and biological.
This is another story progress one. Obtain the kinetic hammer. I really wish this was an unlockable weapon in Riot Mode or something. I absolutely love this thing. The absolute final achievement is for destroying all the yellow crates in the rooms immediately after getting the hammer. Just look all around the room where you get the hammer, the hall afterward, and the large factory room after that hall. You'll get this if you manage to find them all before proceeding past this point. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys on the next one.